Hello everyone. We are a group of 8 members from Uganda Management Institute pursuing a postgraduate diploma in project planning and management. We are pleased to present a topic of socially responsible procurement, commonly referred to as SRP. My name is Kunda Fiona, and I'll begin by giving you a brief overview of what this presentation will cover. We shall look at the brief of SRP, its principles and benefits to an organization, how to implement SRP in organization, the challenges and solutions, case examples in Uganda, elements of SRP in the PPDA Act, conclusions and recommendations. So let's start by defining what procurement is. Procurement is the process of identifying, sourcing, and managing of resources that an organization needs to fulfill its strategic objectives. So the concept of social responsible procurement is when that organization integrates social, ethical, and environmental considerations into its purchasing decisions. SRP promotes ethics, sustainability, and inclusion in the supply chains. So with that, I will hand over to Christine, who will take us to the next part.
Christine Nachanja is my name, handling objectives in socially responsible procurement. It promotes ethical labor practices towards environmental sustainability, provides support for local communities, it ensures suppliers meet standards beyond price and quality. It encourages diversity and inclusion. Then we have key principles of social responsible procurement. We have ethical sourcing, which means procuring goods and services from suppliers who operate ethically, including respecting human rights and avoiding corruption. The second one is environmental sustainability, which involves selecting products and services that reduce environmental impact through energy efficiency, waste reduction, and sustainable materials. We have fair labor practices, ensuring workers in the supply chain are treated fairly. We have supply diversity and inclusion, done by encouraging procurement from a diverse range of suppliers, including the minority-owned and women-owned. We have transparency and accountability. This is done by maintaining openness in procurement decisions and holding suppliers accountable to ethical environment and social standards. We have community engagement and development, which is done by supporting incentives that benefit local communities, such as jobs creation, skills development, and local sourcing. We have continuous improvement. This is done by regularly reviewing and improving procurement practices to enhance social, environmental, and ethical performance. Lastly, we have compliance with laws and standards, which is done by adhering to all the relevant local and international laws, regulations, and industrial standards in procurement activities. Thank you.
My name is Arnett O'Brien. I'm presenting benefits of social responsible procurement. The first point, it enhances stakeholder relationships. SRP builds trust with stakeholders like customers, investors, governments, and communities. Then it also looks at strong relationships, which can lead to long-term partnership and support. It improves employee morale. This boosts the morale and promotes the positive workplace culture, which makes workers feel proud and engaged into their work. Then among the rest of the points, there is access to innovation and sustainable suppliers. There is competitive advantage. There is enhancements on reputation and brand value. It also attracts investors and partners. It reduces risks. It drives innovations. It promotes supply chain resilience. Then there is compliance with regulation and standards. It boosts employee engagement and retention. And finally, supports sustainable development goals. Thank you.
I'm Gladys Abe. I'm going to take you through how to implement SRPs. Develop a procurement policy with SRP principles, where you define objectives and principles and identify the key stakeholders. Secondly, you conduct a risk and impact assessment, where you identify the potential social and environmental risks. You engage and train procurement staff, where you educate the staff on the SRP principles, policies, and procedures. You set SRP criteria for supplier selection. This includes putting social and environmental criteria in the tender documents. Then you collaborate with the suppliers. This can be done through communicating your expectations and requirements. Then you monitor and evaluate supplier performance. This is done through conducting regular audits and assessments. Then report progress transparently to ensure accountability. And then you continuously improve and review the SRP policies and procedures.
My name is Barbara Najingo, and I'm going to present the challenges in implementing socially responsible procurement. First, we have lack of awareness and training. Many procurement professionals and stakeholders may not fully understand SRP principles and how to implement them. And this gap hinders adoption and consistent application of SRP. Second, we have lack of transparency. Without clear visibility into supplier chain and procurement processes, it's difficult to ensure ethical practices are being followed, and this undermines trust and accountability. Then high initial costs, sustainable and or ethically sourced products and services often have higher upfront costs, which can deter organizations from choosing them despite their long-term benefits. Then difficulty in measuring impact. It's challenging to quantify the social and environmental benefits of SRP, such as reduction in inequality or improvement in local economic capacity. This makes it hard to justify the investment. Then inadequate supplier base. In many regions, there are few suppliers who meet the required sustainability and ethical standards, and this limits procurement options. Then weak monitoring and evaluation. Without robust systems to track outcome and ensure compliance, it's hard to assess whether SRP goals are being met. Then lastly, we have supplier capability and resources. Many local or small-scale suppliers may lack the necessary skills, infrastructure, or technology to meet SRP requirements. This creates a barrier to inclusive procurement. Over to you, Joseph.
Yeah, well, my name is Chivumi Joseph, and I'll take you through how to solve SRP challenges. This includes conducting regular trainings and capacity buildings, workshops. These are aimed at imparting knowing, then strengthening audit systems and accountability frameworks, use of procurement platforms to increase transparency, increasing procurement platforms, improve openness and accessibility to information regarding bidding, which improves on stakeholder trust. Use of life cycle costing to show long-term value, in that at times material that could contribute to SRP may look expensive, but if we look at things like durability and environmental impact, you may find that they have more value than those that may look cheap. Offer subsidies and or incentives for sustainable supply that aims at attracting people into compliance. Use of policy enforcement and incentives to encourage adoption of progress, and partnerships that is encouraging SMEs to form cooperatives to pool resources and jointly fulfill contracts. Yeah, that aims at providing inclusion in contract awarding. There are also other cases that I've given here, such as the PPDA reservation schemes that aims at promoting inclusion through reserving like over 30% to marginalized groups like youth, women. Also capacity authority policies that aim at promoting local content, and also Ministry of Health has also used the same policies. UN Women, Uganda, also all those are aimed at promoting inclusion and realizing social responsible procurement.
Yes, Yaha Joanka is my name, taking you through the legal and the policy frameworks, where we have the relevant laws and regulations. We'll mention about the Public Procurement and the Disposal of Public Asset Act. For international guidelines, we will have the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. Where we have the ISO 20, the ISO 2040 for monitoring international standards and sustainable procurement. We have the World Bank guidelines, best practices for procurement.
I am Tiger Irene, and these are the conclusions. SPR ensures procurement supports people, planet, and ethical practices. It promotes local sourcing, environmental care, and transparency. SPR drives sustainable development and inclusive growth. The future of procurement is responsible, ethical, and sustainable. These are the recommendations. Developing and enforcing SPR policies in one's organization, building supplier capacity through training, integrating SPR into training programs to raise awareness, monitoring and evaluating compliance through audits, engaging stakeholders, promoting transparency and accountability using digital tools, alignment with national and international standards like the SDGs. These are the references. Thank you.